Craig says, "Hey guys, about 2 months ago, I started routinely getting incoming robocalls from toll-free numbers, 1-800-XXX and the other, 8XX area codes that are toll-free, most likely numbers being spoofed. The calls show up randomly about once a day, but every day. It seems as though this tactic is being used because inbound spam filters from carriers will often allow toll-free calls to be delivered. Any suggestions on how to block all incoming toll-free numbers? In the modern era, there are few legitimate cases where an inbound call from a toll-free number would occur. And even if legit, that could be delivered to voicemail. I was hopeful to use an automation, but from what I have seen, it's not possible to interrogate the inbound caller ID from a call to trigger an automation. And even if possible, to detect them coming from a toll-free number. Any suggestions? Pensacola Craig. Adam?
Yes. My suggestion is iOS 26 might be your friend. There's some new features in here, and I don't know. Looking at the screenshot, I don't think Craig had these enabled. He had sent us a screenshot of this. And so my question is, have you enabled the screen unknown callers feature and also the call filtering feature? So in your phone settings, there's a couple of features, one called screen unknown callers and the other called call filtering. I have mine currently, my screen unknown callers set to silence, which says calls from unsaved numbers will be silenced, sent to voicemail, and displayed on the recents list. So it does that. And then the unknown callers feature is missed calls and voicemails from unknown numbers will be moved to the unknown callers list. So when you enable this, I think there's some UX changes that happens to your phone app. So when I go to my screen, there's a little sort of three, it looks like an inverted, almost not quite a pyramid, but three lines. They're inverted. It's like a more menu up in the upper right-hand corner. And now I have my regular calls, which is my recent calls and voicemails and stuff like that. But there is also something called unknown callers. And so any of those unknown numbers, one, because I have these two features enabled, immediately go to voicemail, so I don't get the call. And then secondly, they get moved to that list, so I don't miss them. I can go review them later. And the key is, any calls you do want to get, the only downside to this, in my opinion, is if I am getting a call from, like my doctor's office or something like that, and I haven't added their number to my contacts, it's going to go there and I'm going to have to review it. I'll still get a voicemail from them. But like if you get a call about an upcoming appointment and things like that. But I mean, in my opinion, the solve for that is just start adding those numbers to your contacts so that they don't get filtered out. But I'd rather err on the side of more stuff getting filtered to voicemail and me getting less calls and me then going to review it. And if they don't want to leave a voicemail, then I don't want to hear from them anyway. So that's just my opinion. Like, because some people wonder, like, what if they won't leave a voicemail? It's like, well, then they obviously didn't really want to talk to me, so I don't need to talk to them.
Yeah. All right, there you go. And yeah, that ask reason for calling setting it could be a nice middle ground too, right? That's there. As
Does that work?
Kiwi Graham says, ask reason for calling for unknown callers zaps over 90% of my incoming spam calls. So,
yeah. And there are a few other options in there. I was trying to remember. Yeah, there's different settings. So there's like a silence and you can play around with the settings, but there are a bunch of new settings. Apple recognized this problem with iOS 26, and they're trying to give us additional tools to help manage this sort of workaround stuff that these guys are doing. It's whack-a-mole.